Hi, this is Ruxandra. How are you? You are at the end of the first week of the Daily Dose of Vitality program. And during this week, you learned about the foot diagonals and you learned about sideways breathing and about the concept of the pelvic floor. This is on the physical body part. On the mindset and emotional part, you started to journal about fear and worry and how it feels in your body. And also maybe you started to focus more on what's working rather than what is not working yet. With respect to the physical body exercises that you learned, you might wonder why the foot diagonals are so significant. Why would you choose to focus on them every day? The answer is because as you are realigning your feet, as you are learning to put weight on the feet evenly on the 4 points created by the diagonals, and also on the length of your toes, the forces that are transferred from your feet to your ankles, to your knees, all the way up to your head are closer to what they need to be in order for your body to function really well. So if the feet and the ankles are misaligned, if they're not working the way they need to be, if you weight bear more on the inside, more on the outside, sometimes more on the inside on one foot and more on the outside on the other. So all these uneven weight-bearing patterns create a lot of tension above the feet and the ankles. So if you're thinking like a building that keeps having like a house with a chimney, and the chimney keeps falling to the right, keeps falling to the right, and you're trying to keep fixing the chimney, and a day or two later, chimney's leaning off to the right again. Now, if you look at the foundation of the house and you discover that everything is shifted to the right, it doesn't matter how many times you fix the chimney, you will create the same outcome every time. The chimney will fall to the right. Now, if you go and you see what you can do with the foundation of the house, then the chimney will stay upright. So the same thing, that's a very simple way of creating an image in your head and talking about principles that are, they're mouthy, like tensegrity, biomechanics, and so on, but we don't care about that. What we care about is the fact that as you correct things in your feet and in your ankles, the tensions going up your body start being tensions of holding, of compensation, and they start to realign your body. Not overnight, not in a month, but month after month after month, the more precise you become at the foot and ankle level, the better your body goes above. Okay, so that's about the feet, and there will be more stuff for the feet in this program. Then with the breathing, the ribcage is meant to move in 3 directions as we breathe. It needs to expand sideways, up and down, and front and back. If one area of the body is tighter, if your abdomen is not moving, if your ribcage is holding, if there's a lot of tension up here, then the ribs are not free to move well enough. And since the ribs are attached to your spine, to your thoracic spine, to your vertebrae, now this means that you are creating tension along a part of your spine just because the breathing patterns are slightly obstructed or really obstructed, right? And if one part of the spine is in trouble, the whole spine is in trouble. If one part of your spine is held rigid, the resistance to gravity, to movement, to impact is diminished in the spine. So this is why in this program, we're going to pay a lot of attention on the breathing patterns, okay? And challenging your ribcage to move in different ways that maybe you're not used to feeling. And the third thing in your physical part of the first week was the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor forms the floor of the pelvis. There is a layer of muscles that cover the opening of the pelvis at the bottom. Both men and women have it. Slight differences, but in terms of muscle mass, we all have it. We hold a lot of tension there, but as the pelvic floor is attached to your tailbone, to the very end part of your spine, I want you to imagine the pelvic floor as being a little hand that has access to one end of your spine. Later on, we're going to use that to create more space between the vertebrae of the spine, to help you do movement correctly through the spine without creating tension and compression. So the pelvic floor, very important. Get used to contracting it. If you're curious, go and pull a picture off the internet. So just look at it, and there's no test. You cannot fail this, but focus on the pelvic floor. See if you can contract it and release it, contract it and release it at will. Learn to do some reps, like a set of 20, a set of 30. See how it works. Fast contractions or stronger contractions, holding longer. Just start to get in touch with that part of your body. Start getting in touch with a movement of the rib cage, like your rib cage expanding sideways. And feel your feet all the time. As we layer this information in the coming weeks, you will see that you will use the foot diagonals more. You will be more aware of your breath, and you will start to use your pelvic floor during your day-to-day activities, or start to be more aware of it while it's doing its job. Okay? So I will come back here to you in a week. Until then, use your journal, write down what comes up in your mind, in your heart, the questions that you might have about the body or how to deal with stress. And I look forward to your comments. So feel free to send me an email, info@vitaldirectives.com. I'll see you in a week. Bye.